Hi everyone, I'm very pleased to be speaking to you today and answering a question about our connection with life source energy. We can also call it Kundalini or Shakti energy. So the question is, how does our diet influence our ability to connect to life force, life source, Kundalini energy? What is important to remember is that we are connecting with a sensation in the body, with the subtle energies flowing through the body. And our focus always stays towards connecting with the body, or we can say through the body. So to remember, we are not the body. The body is the gateway to knowing our true essence. So then how do we feed the body or nourish the body to help us access this deep sensation, which then touches on our true essence? So the body is basically a gateway and not the end destination, and that is important to remember. So when we look at diet, also to be aware that the diet does not become the destination. Sometimes it can be very alluring to follow a purist path or a purist diet or formula, and then one can get entrapped and mesmerized by the formula itself and the joy in following the formula, which could be something like following a very specific diet, and then through following this specific diet one gets a sense of, I'm doing the right thing, I'm becoming a better person. So be aware that the diet is not the end destination. Feeling the body is the purpose, and the end destination is that deep surrender into life force, the Kundalini energy. So the Kundalini and the life force is the end destination, and in itself it does not need nourishment. It will continue to flourish, live and exist even when it's not in this body. So the thing that we are feeding or searching, the life source that we want to connect to, is independent of this body. But for now, it is in the body. So then how does diet affect our connection with life source? So we are going to look again at using the body as a gateway to feeling the subtle energies and the presence of all of his existence inside the body. Okay, so we want to oil this gate, this gate, which is the gate to higher consciousness, and the body then is the gate. So how do we make sure that this gate is operating well? And in that sense, we will be looking after the gate, which is the body, in an optimal way, and listening to the gate, tuning in through the gate to the gate. It all gets a bit metaphorical. Let's get back to diet and the body. And so what we want to do is we tune into sensations in the body. And when do I feel my body? When do I feel I am in my body? And once we start doing that, we will notice how certain foods will either drain our energy, make us feel low, even make us feel depressed or depleted. And automatically one would then avoid those foods because of that disconnect with the body, which is our gateway to higher consciousness. So what I want to say is, don't get mesmerized by the formula of a diet. Listen to the body. Any foods that make you feel in alignment, in tune, in harmony with your body is helping you to use this gate of the body in an optimal way to connect to the deeper, ever living, lasting life source within you. And for that reason, we will feed the body well. So often when we start tuning into the body, feeling the body, taking note, I want to say listening to the body, but that means taking note what the body's responses are to certain foods, then we will naturally start adapting what we are eating. We will naturally start craving certain things that give us a sensation of aliveness and connectedness in our body. We will naturally want to do some mild exercise that make us feel more vibrant and more in our body. So in conclusion, I'd like to say that it's not about the diet. It's about your connection with the body and using your body as a well-oiled, well-functioning gate to access the pure, divine life source flow of Kundalini life through the body. I hope that answers your question. And lastly, I would like to say that most of us in our society have been trained to be disconnected from our eating, our bodies. We get taught to follow certain diets. We get taught you should eat this, you should eat that, avoid these foods, do this, do that for more energy. And then we start following these diets, or we ignore hunger pangs, or we ignore a craving for something sweet, and we punish ourselves, or all of that. And we get more and more and more disconnected from the body and learn to, through societal conditioning, to basically ignore the body. Ignore the body, ignore the signs of the body, ignore the pain, ignore the natural desire for what is needed for this nourishment. And often guilt and rules and so on come in. So a lot of people find themselves incredibly disconnected from their bodies. And I can relate to that, because when I was a dancer, a professional dancer, I found myself in a cycle where I was very disconnected from listening to my body and thinking, I should squash it into a certain way of being, and always ignoring the signs of the body. And the way to come back into harmony with what the body needs is to start listening. So how do you listen? Is you feel, you notice what the body actually wants, and you start responding to those natural urges that emerge from out of the body. Everyone's circumstances are different. It depends on your age. It depends on your stress levels. It depends on your physical activity. It depends on the weather, what your body is going to need. It depends on your emotional state, what your body is going to need. And you will notice that in the beginning, when you start listening to your body, you might find it's going a bit like, oh, I want to eat that big slab of chocolate, and oh, I want to eat the whole packet of crisps. But tuning in, listening, eat that whole packet of crisps. Keep tuning in, keep listening. Then after a while, you notice, in fact, my body is feeling uncomfortable, simply because it's feeling uncomfortable after doing that. And then I adjust my behavior slowly but surely, and I adjust my behavior to start noticing, what does my body really want in that moment. When I'm craving something sweet, it could be that when I eat that fruit, I'm going to find much more of a gratification for that craving for something sweet. So tuning in, starting to listen to the body, listen, hear, feel, gentle tuning in. Then the body starts sorting itself out naturally, like animals do in wild. Sometimes an animal in the wild will gain weight over a certain season because there is another season lying ahead where it is going to be needing that little bit of extra body fat to maintain it through it. And trust the processes that your body that your body is taking you through, and trust the divine wisdom of this gate, the body, gate to higher consciousness, and for carrying you on the correct path. And this process of starting to listen to the body is one of the pointers or one of the processes that will help you to have that Kundalini awakening, to have that internal, physical, spiritual awakening, because it's all about feeling through the body, feeling through the body. Spiritual awakening is a physical experience. So I thank you for asking this question about the food that we would eat, because I think it's a very important question, because as I say, we want a well-oiled gate to access this higher consciousness, which is alive and kicking in all of us. If we only start tuning in, we will notice that it is there, alive and bubbling within all of us. I love you, and you are welcome to ask more questions.